Well, hello, hello, hello. Let's see here. Hang on. There we go. Hey, what's going on? What is going on, you natural bodybuilders out there? You rare breed inside the bodybuilding community. I want to say what's going on. I just want to say, hey, how's it going? How's it going this weekend? How's it going Saturday? It's official. It's official. We are 16 weeks out from the Phoenician Classic. 16 big weeks out from the Phoenician Classic. Man, it's like do or die time. Now it's like, man, it's like, wow, it's like time to really start prepping. Like it's like real time to start prepping. If you're not already been prepping. Phoenician Classic is happening September 4th, 2021. Man, at the beautiful Arizona Broadway Theater. Just a quick rundown of a few shows that's happening on the West Coast before the Phoenician Classic. That man, if you're looking to become a pro bikini competitor in the WNBF or looking to become a WNBF pro men's physique, here's a few shows that you can earn your pro card at. And if you earn that pro card, man, you are more than welcome to come compete as a pro at the Phoenician Classic. All right. A couple of great shows. July 12th, Inbf Columbia Classic in Seattle, Washington. I will be in attendance at that show. If you want to meet and greet me, I'll be in Seattle, Washington, July 12th at the Columbia Classic, man. July 19th is the INBF Tulsa Natural in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I will not be in attendance at that show, but from my understanding, it's a really, really great show, and it's a great time to it's a great time to get out there and display your best assets. Put your best assets to work at the Tulsa Natural in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Next show after that is July 17th, the SoCal Uproar in San Diego, California. I will be in attendance at that show as well. So if you want to meet and greet me, please do not hesitate to come up to me, ask me a few questions. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions you may have. But I will be in attendance at the July 17th at the INBF SoCal Uproar. All right. July 24th is the INBF Cecil Phillips Classic going down in Eugene, Oregon. Cecil Phillips Classic is going down in Eugene, Oregon. Another great show, another great time for you to if you're looking to earn your pro card and bikini, well, in any one of the divisions, but if you're looking to compete in the Phoenician Classic as a pro in men's physique or women's bikini, that's another great show in Eugene, Oregon, to try to go ahead and get that pro card and earn it. All right. Renee Morse, thanks for checking in, love. I see you. How you doing? Yes, I've been dropping inside of your inbox. I've been nagging you. Absolutely right. Thanks for dropping in and just taking a quick peek to see what's going on with the Phoenician Classic. The next show, August 7th, the INBF Oklahoma City Classic in Oklahoma City. Another great show. August 21st, the INBF Natural Central Valley Championship going down in Fresno, California. That is the next show that is like probably one of the last shows I will be at before the Phoenician Classic. I'll be at that show in attendance. So if you want to meet and greet me in person, got questions for me, I will be there. And then the very last show that's on the West Coast is August 28th, the INBF South Central USA going down in Dallas, Texas. Okay. Those are all great shows that you can, like, if you're trying to compete as a pro bikini or pro men's physique, those are all great shows to do. Those are all great shows to do if you're just an amateur wanting to earn your pro card in any division. I know I speak a lot about earning your pro card and things like that, but I just want to say, man, if you're a natural athlete out there and it's your first time, like want to get your feet wet, I just urge you to find a great natural show to do, and get inside one of the natural shows so that way you can get your feet wet. You can get a better understanding about what you're about to step into. And without further ado, I have a real special guest that's going to come on here for me today. Super special guest. I'm going to invite him in right now. And man, he's gonna give us the rundown on what it's like to be a natural pro. What's up, Coach Kendall?
How's it going, man? How's
Good
it
to
going?
see you, boss.
You too, man.
Absolutely. Look, you got the beard going now?
I know it's coming in a little bit. It's coming in.
I see that.
It's coming in.
Man, I'm glad you took the opportunity, man, just to pop in here real quick, just to give a little chat, man. I
Yeah, of
really
course.
appreciate this, man. Really good to see you. First of all, really good to see you because I haven't seen you like almost a year and a
I,
half.
yeah, about a year. Yeah, about a year.
No doubt. So, just a quick rundown. All right, quick rundown. These are just some easy questions that I want to get out there so that way people who like they know you, but they kind of like don't know you. You know what I mean? So,
Right.
like, real quick, how long have you been competing inside of bodybuilding?
I've been competing for about, I would say, honestly, about 2 years. Like as far as
Okay.
competing. Um,
Hmm.
and yeah, it started off. I only did about, I would say, 4 shows really.
Okay.
After
Okay.
the Muscle Mayhem became pro, then I did
Hmm.
my first pro show. Then I did, yeah, my first pro show. Then I did Muscle Mayhem again, and then did World. No, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry. No, I did not Muscle Mayhem, and then I did a pro show. Then I did Worlds. And I did Worlds again. So I did 4.
Okay, awesome. So you're like the rare anomaly which is that kind of happens to. Most people have to like build up into and build up that muscle maturity and kind of compete for a couple of years before they turn pro.
Right.
I guess my next question would be is this: how long have you been lifting before you decided to like, hey, I want to try competing?
I've been lifting honestly about, let me see, about like 10 years. Like seriously,
Mm-hmm.
before I competed, I was definitely my training definitely about eight years or so
Okay.
lifting. Uh, and honestly, it was just something that it's just like an attempt. Like it was like, okay, why not? I got the physique for it, and yeah. And the next thing you know, just went for it. But I would say 8 years, but before I had my first show.
Okay, so 8 years of just I like to call it 8 years of basement training because nobody knew who you were. You just was in the gym
Yeah,
doing your thing.
yeah, exactly, yeah.
No doubt, no doubt. So you put in those 8 years. Now, who talked you into competing?
It was honestly it was Chris Dim. It was Chris Dim taught me into competing. He's a he's an Olympian. He
Right.
taught me. I was at his private gym at the time training my clients, and he was just like, "Why not go for it? You're young. You have time. You have the physique for it." And I was like, at first, but then at the I would say at a good amount of time, I was like, you know what? Why not? Like I have the physique. I'm young. I like to compete. And then I did it, and then so I give all praise to him honestly, because if not for him like telling me like, "Hey, do it," as well as Kane Bishop, I honestly
Mhm.
wouldn't have stepped on stage.
Oh, that's what's up. That's what's up. Big congratulations, Chris Dem. Yeah, I don't know Chris Dem personally, but I know that another pro here that him and guy named Troy Alves, him and Chris Dem are really close, and
Yeah,
I just got to know Chris Dem through Troy, and I love as far as Chris Dem's story, it's a crazy story, man. So,
yeah, hell
man,
yeah.
yeah, absolutely. So, my next question is this. Next question is this. All right, you're the world champion now.
Okay.
What is life like now as the world champion?
Uh, honestly, like when I won Worlds the second time, that's when it hit me actually more than the first time.
Mm-hmm.
I came back, and first time was kind of like, okay, I did it. Second time was like I had something to prove. Like I had people like gating for me and people coming to get me and stuff like that. So the second time was more rewarding because we had Sam and we had other guys like trying to get me. So definitely more rewarding. And it didn't hit me. I came back, and I know I came back with the overall. And honestly, and I had a lot of like uh, a lot of notoriety, a lot of publicity. I
Mm-hmm.
videos and stuff like that. And it felt great, but I honestly just felt like, honestly felt like it was meant to happen for me. Like it didn't feel like it was something that was something I couldn't do. I felt like I can do it, and I knew I could do it to where when I did it, it was a sense of like accomplishment and a milestone. But then I felt as if like it was deserving of me to do it to get it. So I didn't really feel much of like higher than someone else. I felt like the same person, but
Okay.
it definitely upped my abundance and knowing that wow, I really can do anything I can put my mind into. It was more like a self intervention of like knowing my capability of doing things.
Right. So it sounded like to me like it sounded like to me like you already had the capability. It just what it did was just kind of like put the icing on the cake
Yeah,
or amplified like your projection of where you should be and what you should be doing.
exactly, exactly.
Awesome. Awesome. So now that you're on top of the hill, how hard is it to stay there?
Uh, Well, well, the second time when I had I forgot his name, but Iron Lord and Sam and a lot of guys come to get me that I've never stepped on stage before. It was a humbling feeling because like I knew they were all there to win the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
It was like my weight class when I had Sam and all them guys, and then I had other guys trying to the whole show. It was more knowing that like I knew that if I came at my best, like no one could touch me. Like I just knew that. Like I knew if I came 100%, like I was so confident backstage, you know, while people were pumping up, I felt like I already had the show won. I just knew what I brought. So,
Right.
and so like you know, like not with me now and having a lot of respect from a lot of guys. That's like I guess the most rewarding thing I got from everybody was the respect. I had
Okay.
guys game for longer, 30-year-old, 35, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Just shake my hand. Hey man, I respect you. You're a hard worker. So I know the third time that this year, I know it'll be the same thing where it's like you know, bringing my best and knowing that you know, also being chased after because I the whole thing. So it's like that next feeling of like whoever comes is gonna be the same thing. Like I know it's all business. It's all about like respect and just we're all trying to be the better version of ourselves and kind of thing. You know?
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. So I'm gonna segue here into this. So so my understanding, I know that you're coaching other clients and things like that. As a coach, what is one of the toughest things that you have to kind of like drill through to your clients? Let's say you're getting somebody ready for a show. What is one of the hardest things in the world that you have to drill into them so that way drill into him or her so that way so that way they can better understand the process in which it takes to get ready for a show?
I would say programming, mindset, uh, and just sticking to a routine and being patient. I think if you stick to a routine and you have an open ear and you have an open consideration as to where if I say, hey, this is how our diet's going to change, this is how our eating's going to change, and you are open to it, no questions asked, like you don't think too much about it, and you just go. That's the biggest thing that I would say to people is to stay consistent. Like don't look like I give my like a 3 day rule. We try something new. We try it for 3 days. If it works, cool. Let's keep it going. If it doesn't work, if fast, pull carbs, up carbs, whatever. 3 days, we feel like nothing's really happening, then we'll go back or something like that. So being open minded, knowing like your body's going to change as well as your diet, and then staying consistent. I think that's the biggest part when you're doing a show. Is just, you got to just trust the routine and knowing that yeah, you're 3 months out, but then you just trust the process. You'll get to where you be at a much earlier time than you think.
Absolutely. And so, so I guess my follow-up question would be, okay, so we covered that groundwork of someone getting prepping for a show. Would you use that same advice for, let's say, a seasoned competitor that's been competing for a while, and we're trying to, and like they're trying to get over that hump of being just a seasoned competitor to be, to become a WNBF pro. Like, is it the same type of programming, or is it something different that goes into that mindset?
Uh, I would say the same thing because I think if your mindset is sought towards like achieving big, it can be overwhelming sometimes. Like I know for Worlds, for me, like it was another drive for me to want to achieve to win the whole show. But
Mm-hmm.
honestly, all I was focused on was bringing my best. I wasn't really focused on the competition and the show being so big. I was just focusing on just me bringing my best self.
Okay.
And then when I approached the show, it was like, okay, like I'm ready for this. But I felt like if I was thinking about the show so being so big and all these people coming in and I'm focusing on who's doing it and this and that, I would have took my mind off of like my own like center of what I'm doing and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I gotta train more. I gotta do more cardio. I was just trusting the fact that if I bring myself, my best self, and I'm content, happy with how I look, that's how I brought it into Worlds, knowing that this was a big opportunity.
Right, right, right. So basically, what you're telling these guys, so any man or female, whoever, if you're out there and you're a seasoned competitor, and you're trying to get over this hump, like beat that last version of yourself.
Yeah, that's it.
They focus on the last version of you.
That's it. That's it. Like, don't focus on anybody else or how grand something is. If you just focus on you and knowing that, like, you know what, I brought my 90% last time. Let's go for 92. And you don't make it overwhelming as in like my 100%. You just make it to be better than last time, and
Right.
that could be your 100%. But I think going for the completion,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it can be just too much to focus on. I was focused on just bringing myself better than last year's worlds, bigger, stronger, more dense, and I did that. But I wasn't trying to be my best. I was trying to be better.
Right. Okay. Absolutely. 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 So now, last question I got for you. I'm gonna let you go because I know it's a Saturday, and I really appreciate you popping in for me, man. I
Yeah.
really do. Last question for you. All right. You got a brand new person. They just, brand new person, first time learning how to work out, first time with everything. What level of patience should they be what level of patience should they have, and what, not only level of patience,
Okay.
um, but beyond the level of patience that they should have to reach their target or reach their goal that they're going after, how, what does that look like for them, as the months progress, so to speak? So let's say you got somebody 30 pounds overweight and they want to be 30 pounds lighter. What does that look like for them? And it's their first time, like, really in the gym. So what is that kind of, how's that look? How's that progress for them? 30, they need to lose 30 pounds. What does that look like for them, and what kind of patience level should they have?
I would so when I get clients that are these fat body fat percentage range, I allow
Uh,
on just first of all cutting things out that are habitual that you know will only lead of course, like unhealthy habits. Like if you have a problem overeating at night, if you like soda, if you like candy, whatever, just first focus on what you need to cut out that's detrimental to your health, right? So I'm not focused on macro counting them, and no, that's too far fetched to from them, for them starting where they're starting. So I
mhm.
just tell them focus on things that you need to cut out. That's it. I'm not and I'm all I'm saying. Let's focus on eating more cleaner. That could be
Okay.
as I'm not telling them what exactly how it should go. I'll
Hmm.
give them perspective, but I want them I want them to get a feel first of cutting out the soda, cutting out the late night eating, cutting out the munchies and stuff like that, and then they get familiar with that in a week or two. Then I start getting them more involved with kind of structuring their eating. And as far as like training exercise, I tell them let's start getting more steps in the day. Let's start, let's okay, what's realistic? You work 7 days out of the week, and you got kids and this and that. Obviously, working out 7 days a week ain't gonna work. So let's bring it down to 4. You commit 4 out of the week. You're just getting the gym. They get a routine, and slowly start to make that, as well as the habits of eating, drink water, focus on your sleep, and then with those key components, then they can focus on other stuff. But those things first, like the bad habits you need to cut out as far as food, eating more cleaner, get focused on your sleep and your water, and get more steps in. That alone can make a huge difference.
Awesome, awesome,
Um,
awesome. Man, that's what's up, Coach Kendall. So, man, I'm gonna let you get out of here. I
all right,
really appreciate it, boss. I think the next time you and I will run into each other is maybe at the I'm thinking Muscle Mayhem,
yeah,
October 30th.
damn, yeah,
Okay, so I think that'll be the next time me and you will actually see each other in person. It'll be
yeah,
really great to see you in person again, man. Because I
yeah,
really enjoy just chopping it up with you, and enjoy
yeah.
just your company, man. You're just a down to earth guy
I appreciate
that's
it, man.
that's wisdom beyond your years. So
I
I know
appreciate,
you probably heard that 1,000 times, but you are, man. You just impress me every time I talk to
I
you.
appreciate it.
Absolutely. All right, Coach K, man. I'll be seeing you soon. Thanks again, brother. And there you have it, man. I had a special guest. Coach K stopped in to give us, just to chop it up with us about worlds, the mindset game. And it's just always a real pleasure to talk to that young man, because you just, like, talking with him, you don't even realize how young he is until you actually, like, you don't realize his age, because he's so, just his wisdom level, and the amount of wisdom that he has is just phenomenal. Just a couple of key takeaways from what Coach K said was just simply this: like, he spent 10 years training before he actually started competing. So like, so if you're jumping into this game of competing and you're a novice and you jumping into this game and competing, and it's your first time competing, like, everybody doesn't jump into this thing the same way. If you don't have 10 years of training underneath your belt, man, just go to a show, just go to a natural show, have fun at it. Go have fun, go learn some stuff, And there's different levels. There's different levels for everyone at a show. There's different levels for everyone at the Phoenician Classic. Like we designed this bad boy so that way you can have fun, regardless if you're a novice, all the way up to like you trying to aim for a pro card. So there's levels to it. There's levels to everything, and there's levels inside the Phoenician Classic. Man, I know everyone's got a business Saturday. I have one myself. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this bad boy up by simply saying Phoenician Classic is a pro-am show this year. We have pro men's physique, pro bikini, as well as all the amateur divisions. If you're thinking about competing, if you're thinking about diving on stage, if it's your first time or if it's your second time, or if you're a seasoned veteran, you're thinking about getting on stage, September 4th is 16 weeks away. Phoenician Classic has a spot for you. All right. We have a place for you. Registration is open. Got any questions, any concern, complaints, please feel free to shoot me a DM or send me an email at phoenicianclassic@phoenicianclassic.com, and I'll be more than happy to answer any questions you may have. And doesn't matter what organization you're with. I've been around. I've been doing this for about 18 years now, so I've seen it all, done it all myself. All right. So if you got questions, feel free to hit me up. All right. So guys, have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you guys on Tuesday where I have another special guest. Later, guys.